Hello friends. Welcome to Animezone Sensei. In this video I will show you 10 ways Dragon Ball would have been better as a seinen. Dragon Ball was never afraid to test the limits of what was appropriate for shonen anime. However, it could have done so much more as a seinen. Akira Toriyama's foundational Dragon Ball franchise has been at the forefront of the anime industry for more than 3 decades, and its popularity only continues to rise. The ongoing Dragon Ball saga has slowly evolved to fit with the medium's changing sensibilities. But it's never strayed from its initial mission statement and Goku's heroic adventure. The influence that Dragon Ball has had on the shonen genre is undeniable, and it's one of the most emblematic series when it comes to battle-centric action storytelling. However, Dragon Ball is a series that's frequently flirted with darker ideas, and it's fascinating to consider how it might have been even better if it had instead catered towards the more adult seinen demographic. Number 10. There'd be a greater demarcation between it and the original Dragon Ball. It's common for many long-running shonen anime series to institute time skips to help move the plot forward or force some changes onto its characters. The jump forward in time that separates the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is effective, but this tonal shift could become even more powerful. Dragon Ball Z embraces action over comedy, unlike its more juvenile predecessor. However, this turn towards more mature storytelling would work better if Dragon Ball Z fully became a seinen series. It'd also make the lighthearted pivot that occurs in Dragon Ball GT feel more substantial, too. Number 9. There'd be more violence and battle casualties. Shonen series feature so much constant combat that it's only natural that characters incur considerable damage. Dragon Ball doesn't avoid the more violent moments of battle, but they're few and far between, as well as material that would frequently undergo censorship for edited broadcasts. Some of the biggest villains in Dragon Ball, like Frieza, Cell, and Buu, all engage in bloody massacres with countless casualties. These acts stand out, but they'd become much more chilling with extreme and gruesome carnage. Sequences like Buu's human extinction attack would leave the audience haunted if it had the freedom provided by the seinen genre. Number 8. Goku and Chichis' marital strife can get properly explored. Chi-Chi is a Dragon Ball character who is frequently under attack by the fandom simply because her priorities don't align with Goku's perpetual passion for combat. Dragon Ball Z begins to examine this subtle rift between Goku and Chi-Chi as he tiptoes around his wife, but it's mostly played for comic relief. A more mature seinen series would be able to properly dissect this marital strife and turn it into compelling character development. This doesn't mean that Dragon Ball needs to head into a divorce arc, but there'd be more opportunities to genuinely examine their desires and not just blow them off. Number 7. The villains would be more frightening and evil. It's not easy to create progressively intimidating villains that all feel distinctly dangerous. The Dragon Ball franchise is responsible for some iconic anime foes, all of which have their rough edges and ruthless tendencies. These villains are frightening and vicious, but the expectations of the shonen genre inherently soften their impact. Shonen villains tend to talk more and taunt their opponents, but a seinen take on Dragon Ball could lead to a whole new breed of evil. Dragon Ball could pursue enemies who have mature and disturbing motivations instead of the tropes that tie up shonen villains. Number 6. Death would be more prominent and leave a greater impact. The tragedy of death occasionally rears its head in Dragon Ball, but this hardship becomes a lot more palatable thanks to the restorative powers of the titular Dragon Balls. No Dragon Ball characters openly welcome death, but it's sometimes treated like a mild inconvenience rather than the ultimate sacrifice. The recurring resurrection of characters is representative of shonen ideals rather than seinen sensibilities. A seinen Dragon Ball would give death more weight, and Goku would absolutely stay dead following his destruction by Cell. All of this leads to better, more daring storytelling. Number 5. Lecherous characters like Roshi and Old Kai can be pushed further. There are certain anime stereotypes that are more pervasive than they need to be and can feel outdated by modern standards. Dragon Ball has its share of hormonal and inappropriate old men who occasionally let their emotions get the better of them. The instances in Dragon Ball where Master Roshi or Old Kai show their true colors can be quite awkward, especially in the context of younger shonen programming. The lecherous nature of these characters isn't essential to the series, but it'd at least be more at home in the seinen genre. This behavior could be properly examined and not just turned into a punchline. Number 4. Future Trunks timeline could be even more depressing. Dragon Ball isn't afraid to visit dark places as a shonen series, yet there's the perpetual optimism that good will triumph over evil and return the world to the status quo. The Cell Saga in Dragon Ball Z is a radical change of pace since it examines a future apocalyptic timeline where nearly all of Earth's greatest heroes have violently perished. The events of Future Trunks timeline are deeply depressing. However, a seinen series could really explore the horrors of this dystopia and spend a lengthier time in the wasteland. This future apocalypse feels like a grim possibility in a shonen series, but a seinen anime would make this hopelessness feel inevitable. Number 3. There would be genuine weight to Majin Vegeta. One of the darkest turns that Dragon Ball Z takes is when Vegeta's festering insecurity over Goku's superiority over him pushes him to succumb to Babidi Majin power boost. The debut of Majin Vegeta takes the character back to his villainous roots, and he wastes no time with his elimination of innocent civilians. Majin Vegeta is sufficiently intimidating, and every punch between him and Goku carries tremendous emotional weight. That being said, Majin Vegeta still feels sanitized and like a compromised version of a better idea. A seinen series would linger on the trauma that Majin Vegeta causes, and he'd maybe even take the lives of beloved heroes instead of random characters. Number 2. Hell and the Afterlife might play a greater role. The scope of the universe in Dragon Ball continues to expand as the characters travel to outer space, pocket dimensions, new universes, and even more. Dragon Ball Z spends a healthy amount of time in its Afterlife equivalent, the Other World, which happens to include a depiction of hell. Dragon Ball presents scary demons and lost souls, but its version of eternal purgatory is still surprisingly chaste and silly. Hell comes across as a temporary distraction, but it should be a punishment that holds actual stakes. A seinen version of Dragon Ball could really highlight the horrors of the afterlife and make it a realm that gives the heroes genuine pause to visit. Number 1. It might have been shorter and more condensed. Dragon Ball has a sterling reputation, but many of its most dedicated fans will still admit that the series is full of filler episodes and could be considerably tighter. There are more than 500 episodes across the various Dragon Ball series. This makes for a lengthy binge, and some audiences prefer a tighter narrative. Hundreds of episodes are fairly expected for shonen series and their schedules reflect this. Alternatively, seinen series are usually given the luxury of shorter seasons and more forgiving production schedules. A seinen version of Dragon Ball could condense the whole franchise into fewer than 100 episodes, which is certainly more manageable of a commitment. This is all for today's video. Please put your comment on down below. Let me know what kind of video do you want to watch next. Also give your opinion about this video. Thank you.